Hello, coaches, and welcome to I Coach Football. I'm your host, Joel Forsberg, and this channel is dedicated to helping coaches like yourself become much more successful in both youth tackle and 7-on-7. Today, we're going to talk about defense. And you know the old adage, offense wins games, defense wins championships. And that is so true. And you need to have a good foundation, a strong defense, but something simple enough for the kids to understand, but powerful enough to shut down other teams. And I have it for you. It's a 4-3 over defense. 4-3 over. That's 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers. It's a very effective. I've run it from 5th grade all the way through 8th grade. And been able to shut down offenses with this defense. It's actually probably universally the most used defense all the way from pros down to the youth level in college and high school and everything in between. So you're learning a very, very good, established, winning defense. I'm going to go through, I'm going to dissect it. By the time you're done watching this video, you're going to be able to take this and go and implement this with your team. Remember, if you want to have your team watch this video as well, kind of get their assignments, go ahead and do that. Use it as a tool in that regard. But yeah, let's just jump right in and get into this defense. Okay, so this is the basis of the 4-3 defense. Obviously, it's called a 4-3 defense because we have 4 down linemen and 3 linebackers. This particular defense is a 4-3 over. You have 4 linemen and 3 linebackers is basically the core of the defense. Okay. Now, what you do with your secondary varies, but as far as the core of it, you have a D end. So I got a right D end, I got a left D end, I got a right tackle, a left tackle. Now, usually you're going to have a strong side linebacker and a weak side linebacker and then a middle backer. You're going to have a Sam linebacker. He's your strong linebacker. A Mike is the middle, and the Will is the weak. However, for youth football, I find it a lot easier just to give them a right and left and a middle, and then just let them stay there because same with the safeties. You usually have a free safety and a strong safety, but what I've found is that there's not a huge difference usually between the athleticism and the aggression level and the tackling ability of these kids at from 3rd through 8th grade. So to limit the confusion, what I do is just say right outside backer, left outside backer, right safety, left safety. You're also, you're going to have corners that end up playing safety. You're going to have corners that end up playing linebacker or linebackers that end up playing safety. So you're going to, when you have a team of 15 to 25 kids, kids get sick, they get hurt, they go on vacation, they go to hockey tryouts. Next thing you know, you're moving kids around. So I like to keep it real simple for youth football. I've certainly played strong side, left side sets, but I find that you can have just as much success actually without doing that, unless you really have the personnel to do that, and then go for it. But so that's one step to make it just more simple. And then when you're subbing kids in, you say go to right side outside backer, and then they're not moving, they're not crossing each other, trying to get to the strong and the weak side, and over concentrating on where their alignments are. They can just line up and play reckless, which we want them to do. We want them just to line up and then just go for it. Don't hold back. So, all right. So we have what we're running here is a 4-3 over front. Okay. The 4-3 over, all that means is that you take the tackles and you tell them line straight up on your guard. Okay. And then slide to the strong side. Okay, slide to the strong side shade of that guard. Okay, and then that's the gap you have. Now, how everybody identifies a strong side usually is the tight end. So where is the tight end lined up? Okay, so if the tight end is over here, it's going to be a strong right call. Okay, and that shifts the tackles. Okay, now let's say there's 2 tight ends. Okay, so now what's your call? Well, now if there's 2 tight ends, the next indicator of where the strong side is where is the larger side of the field? Where is there more field for the runners to run? And in this case, you can see the ball's over here on this hash. There's more field over here. Okay, so the call is still going to be strong right. Okay. If this guy was out here like this, well, now where's the tight end? The tight end's on the left side. It's going to be a strong left. Okay. So that's kind of how we call strong right, strong left. It comes down to where the tight end. Now let's say there's no tight ends. Let's say they're kind of doing something like this, maybe like a flex bone here, split out. What are you going to do in this scenario? Okay, it's a balanced set. If it's a balanced set, then the next thing we look at is where is the highest number of receivers. Okay, so if it was something like this, let's say it was something like this, okay, then we're going to say, hey, there's more receivers on the left side. It's going to be strong left. Okay, even though there's more field over here, we're now looking at the receivers. Okay, now if it's perfectly balanced like something like this, okay, equal receivers on each side, then we go back to the field. There's more field over here, so this is strong right. Okay, does that make sense? Sometimes you will have something like this, okay, maybe something like this where you have kind of a off tight end, but he's not. Maybe he's a wing player there. That we always go to where the tight end is on the line. He's usually the bigger blocking tight end. This might be a legit tight end, but if he's off, we're always going to the on tight end. So this is a strong right. Okay, so like if it was something like this, all right, we're strong left. Strong left. So what does that do? That tackle slides left. Now the ends are always on the outside shoulder of the last guy. Okay, so no matter what happens, they're always on the outside shoulder of the last guy. Okay, let's go something like this. Now, let's get this guy back over here and this guy over here. Okay, we're gonna just start out with a big stacked wishbone. You're probably gonna see wishbone a lot, or some variation, maybe a T formation or something, where they got three backs in the backfield like this. So we're gonna start out with that. So we have the D end out here on the outside edge of the last player. Okay, it's a strong right, so this tackle shades to the right of the guard, and this tackle shades to the right of the guard. Now these tackles are firing every time into this guard. They're not letting this guard go or come down on them, or so he's not going to come down on them. He's not going to the release. These tackles are hitting this guard every single time. They're firing off into the shaded shoulder. So in this case, it's this guard's left shoulder. Okay, so you're firing into that shoulder. You're playing half a man. We don't want them head up. We don't want them hitting these guys head on and letting these guys get a reach on them one way or the other. We want to control this gap. This tackle is controlling the B gap right here. Okay, he's not letting this double team happen. If there's a double team, he's initially attacking him, and he's fighting through this gap, and he's holding that gap. Okay, he is B gap responsibility. This guy is A gap responsibility right here. This is going to be a common double team right here. But so he's attacking the guard first. If that center comes down, he's just fighting both of them right here. Okay, if they're getting overpowered, teach them to drop low, cut these guys off and make a pile. But we don't want these guys getting pushed back out of this hole. Okay, these tackles got to be big, strong, aggressive. You're going to want to have some backups for them so you can keep fresh legs in there. Okay, that's your tackles. Now your ends, what they're doing is they are attacking the outside shoulder every time of the last guy in the line of scrimmage. Okay, we do not want this guy bumping him out. Okay, we don't want him kicking him out, and we don't want him reaching him like that. Okay, so the end has to control. So he is in a 2-point stance, kind of at a 45-degree angle. He fires into the shoulder. He with two hands, playing half a man, so he can twist him and control him. You can grab jersey when you're on defense. You can grab jersey. You control this guy's shoulder. You can turn him, and your eyes are in the backfield. Okay, you're playing outside contain. Okay. So if that ball is coming towards you, you got to teach these DNs, stay patient. You do not want these DNs running upfield. That's one common thing that a lot of youth coaches will tell you is once you get a DN that gets so excited, he runs upfield, boom, he's creating lanes, cutback lanes. and they will take advantage of this all day. And then it's a corner trying to fight off, and be the rescuer on this situation. You don't want that. He's trying to fight off a lead blocker or something, and it's not pretty. Okay, so your DNs have to be your strongest, most aggressive, best defensive players. You want them at D end. They are basically going to shut down the outside run. If you can shut down this outside run, you win the game. Okay, you win the game in youth football. So you just got to make sure you can do that. Well, there's other things you got to do, but that's probably the biggest thing on defense is to get a powerful DNs going in, and don't let them run in. Don't let them run down. Like, they might get excited and they want to run down like this. Don't do that. The little bump out, and there is no help. They're gone. Okay. So what I teach my DNs to do is hit and fight with this guy. Don't let him push you out. Don't let him get around you. Just fight him. Just control this shoulder and keep your eyes in the backfield. Is the ball coming toward you? Then wait till it comes. Wait till it comes. Don't worry about getting up here. I'm more worried about you controlling this or this. Some guys say go on a 45-degree angle. Some say east and west. I like east and west. If you can stop them at the line of scrimmage or even 1 yard from the line of scrimmage, then that's a win. Okay? So the minute that this D end rushes up field, he makes himself a target for a nice solid kick block. Okay, and you don't want that. You want him to be able to these guys to have to come to him, and then there'll be a fight. Now, a lot of times in my offenses, I always have two lead blockers, but sometimes there's only going to be one lead blocker coming around this corner. Sometimes no lead blockers, but if you have one lead blocker, then he's going to take him on. He's going to take on outside control, and he's going to keep his eyes on that running back who's got the ball. If that running back is coming, he's staying to the outside shoulder of the blocker, and he's going to try to funnel him back in or make the tackle. Okay. Now the corner is scraping even out over the top of the DN. He is the outside help in an outside run. Okay, because I got these guys scraping over the top. I got this linebacker and this linebacker. They're scraping in here like this, and this guy's scraping here. They're coming back, so they're the back run support. This guy's not going to come back into this linebacker base, but he might try to bump out here and go off to the races. And if this corner isn't here, okay, and also, I'll get to the safeties in a little bit, but anyway, on a run game, the corner is the out support. Okay, so he's like the last person on the edge. All right, okay, let's get back over here. Take a look at some stuff here. Now, let's go back to the gap assignments here. So obviously they sliding to the strong side. The outside backer then takes this gap. Okay, he's going to take the B gap. The middle backer is taking the opposite A gap of the tackle. So he's taking this A gap. And the outside backer on the right is taking the C gap. Okay, like that. So now every gap is covered. It's boom, 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 boom. All right? That's the beauty of the 4-3, is that you basically have every single gap covered up front, and you still have some linebackers that can move around. So cover that outside play. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the linebackers. Teach your linebackers, don't just run and plug this hole as fast as you can. What you want to do is they want to look, is there someone coming in their hole? Then you're going to run up and plug that hole as fast as you can. If they go away from you, you're going to scrape over the top. You take a couple steps up, and you just scrape right over the back. Okay, don't get caught in this mess. Just scrape with your eyes in the backfield, and it's clear or cloudy. As soon as if it's cloudy, there's bodies, just keep scraping. If it clears up, wham, come up in that hole. Okay, and that you got to there's some drills I'll teach later on about getting your linebackers to scrape over the top. You do not want these linebackers running in their hole blind. As soon as he runs into this hole, if that ball goes out here, he just took himself out of the play. Okay, so we're not teaching linebackers, hey, that's your gap, run into it full speed if you think it's a run, because that's not going to help the game. We got to get these linebackers scraping and trap, coming out here and being part of that trap, that net that's going to net these really fast runners. So, we played a team last year and this year. They have a quarterback that is just insanely fast, and they do something like this. And he was coming out. If he got out here and got on this edge, it was home run heaven. So the first game we played, we figured that out real quick. The second time we played him in the playoffs, we had a plan. We're like, we're going to trap this kid. And really, if this DN stays true to making that wall, to that mirror technique, and that guy can come out here and he's going to mirror, he's going to slow that runner down. He's going to, because he can cover more ground like this. So even if that kid's coming, remember, you got your biggest, baddest, fastest players at DN. They're going to mirror him, and they're going to wait till he comes within striking distance. I always tell these guys, don't tackle until he's in striking distance. Otherwise, just mirror him and slow him down. He's going to come out here. He's going to be like, oh, there's somebody. In the meantime, this guy's going to be able to get up around. This guy's coming up, and this guy's scraping over the top too. Now look at that trap. Does he have anywhere to, and at the same time, this safety is flying up the alley. He's got no place to go as long as we don't create lanes for him to use. We do not want a fast kid getting a lane, and if this corner is not staying out, if this corner tries to run in here, he sees him and he tries to run in, takes himself out of the play. If this end gets excited and starts to come down, he takes himself out of the play. If this linebacker gets excited and he shoots in here too quick, he's not going to catch up to that kid. He's got to scrape. If you see that kid running across here, you want to get in there, but he's not. He's going to be getting past her. You got to tell him to scrape over the top until he's got an opportunity to really clearly make that attack. So that comes with drills and stuff. All right. So what are some other features of the 4-3? We're going to get into the pass coverage now. The pass coverage, so this is a man cover 2 zone. So the safeties are cover 2. There you have deep half here. He's got this deep half here. Okay. Everybody else up front is playing man. This corners take the first receiver on their side. Okay. The outside linebackers, they take the second receiver on their side. The middle linebacker takes the third receiver. Okay. The safeties are always going to be pass and run support. They don't play man. Okay, so let's say you get something like this. Okay, you get something like this over here. Where's the first receiver? Oh, wait, let's go back to here. So the first receiver here is this tight end. If there's just a tight end, you got the corner. I like to tell my corner, come up here like a linebacker. You're not out here. If he's out here and this tight end goes vertical, he's not going to get over the top of that in time. Okay, then he's just going to have, the safety's just going to have to pick him up. And we used to have a defense like that where if he went straight vertical, we'll tell the safety, but that gets confusing. So we want to make sure this safety's free. That means this corner has to cover this guy. Okay, so if let's say he goes out to the flats, the corner can do that too. So the perfect position for this corner is just at like almost a 45-degree angle here, about 3 yards from the D end, and he can go this way or he can go this way. So that's his guy. All right, and this is his guy. All right, now let's say it's something like this. Okay, we want to go like this, and now who's the first receiver? This is the first receiver. Okay, so this corner is man here. This linebacker is man right here. All right. Now, if this receiver, if this guy comes out here on a wheel route on a pass, then this linebacker goes with him. If he comes out this way, this linebacker's going with him. He's the second receiver over here. Okay, usually you don't see a lot of pass plays coming out of the backfield. Usually you see them all lining up. But so let's say we did something like this. Let's say we did just a straight out tray over here. Then we're going to have one guy here. The second linebacker is on this guy here. This linebacker is going to be this man right here. Third receiver to that side. Okay, so he's right there. So he got man coverage, man coverage, man coverage. He's deep help here in this half. And then this linebacker right here, this linebacker can kind of move over here a little bit, like right here. So because he's got to help. He's got to help here and here, like that. Okay. In a run, this linebacker's still here to help out. But so you just kind of want this guy just to slide over a little bit. So he's going to help out a little bit more in that scenario. All right. The safeties, now you want the safeties to know they are only safeties in pass. Okay, they are not safeties when it comes to the run game. Okay, when it comes to the run game, they are they got to be filling fast. Safeties usually do not have a designated blocker in any given offense. You know, they're kind of the unaccounted for guy out there. So you can really use that to your advantage if you move them up a little bit. So I like to move my safeties up. Sometimes if I know it's a real, like if I know this team and I've scouted them out and they just run, and maybe just a potential for a pass, then I like to bring my safeties up. I like to bring them up. And, just about 8 yards, even 7 yards, and let them kind of, if you got some smart safeties, they can kind of sniff it out. Now, they are alley run support first. So they are anything from the hash to the numbers. They are right in here. Okay, so they should, if you see them, if there's a run coming out this way and you see them running east and west or dancing around, you need to get after them and you need to run some drills where they are running up hard. Because these guys should be making all your tackles if this defense works out great and they're really slowing guys down and trapping them. This guy's coming unaccounted for and just really making some great hits. We had a safety that liked to dance around here at the beginning of this last season, and I just got after him, and we had drill after drill. By the end of the season, he was leading the team in tackles because he was just coming up like a shot out of a cannon and just whapping kids because they're just unaccounted for usually in any given scheme. It's hard to account for the safeties. So that's basically the passing coverage. It's very basic. And we're just going to teach these guys just to lock on, to run with them right in their hip pocket. Don't look back until your receiver looks back, and stay right next to them. And these guys don't let anybody get deeper than them. So even though you're going to play these safeties up, you got to have them be ready. If there is a pass, they got to drop, because that's usually how offenses will set up a great pass play. That's how I do, is you start to really hurt them with the run, and you get these safeties crouching up, and that's when you kind of try to sneak behind them with this one great home run play. And I've been hurt by those before, and I've hurt other people that way. You get these guys stacking the box, and or they get like one guy back like that, and now you got a one-on-one out here against a real weak corner. It's home run heaven right over here. So you want to make sure that you're not susceptible to a home run pass play. All right, so that's basically the 4-3 over. Man, cover 2. Man with corners and linebackers are all playing man. Safeties are playing cover 2. And it's really fun. You don't have to. So 2 years ago, I ran this defense, and the year before that, I ran it. 2 years ago, we were only scored on in the regular season once by one team that we ended up playing in the championship, and they actually won the entire championship out of 22 teams in the 6th grade. So I know it works. Okay, so that basically sums up the defense right there. I hope you found this helpful. Come back again, and thank you for being here, and you're always welcome, and we'll see you next time.